The crisis of 2026 made one thing abundantly clear: the traditional, volume-driven sugar economy is fundamentally unsustainable. In India, sugar mills are buckling under a severe financial squeeze. While the government-mandated fair and remunerative price, or FRP, that mills must pay to sugarcane farmers has risen to 3,550 rupees per metric ton, the minimum selling price of sugar has remained frozen at 3,100 rupees per quintal. This mismatch leaves mills financially strapped, leading to massive arrears in payments to farmers, which in turn sparks widespread protests and rural economic distress. To lift the sector out of this cyclical crisis, prominent sugar industry analysts, supported by the Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices, are proposing a visionary and transformative policy shift: a dual sugar price policy. At present, sugar is sold at a uniform price across the entire economy. But household consumers, for whom sugar is a basic kitchen staple, account for only 30% of total consumption. The remaining 70% of sugar is consumed by industrial bulk buyers, including beverage giants, chocolate manufacturers, and commercial sweet makers. These industrial food processors capture massive, lucrative profit margins, often exceeding 200 to 300%, on products where sugar is the primary ingredient, while buying that sugar at the same cheap, uniform rate as an ordinary household. Under the proposed dual sugar price policy, inspired by the highly successful dual pricing of liquefied petroleum gas, sugar markets would be split into two distinct categories. For the 30% household sector, sugar would be sold at a regulated, affordable price of 35 rupees per kilogram. To protect the poorest and most vulnerable, the government would continue to distribute heavily subsidized sugar to below-poverty line families through the public distribution system, procuring it directly from mills at 40 rupees per kilogram to ensure stable mill revenues. For the 70% industrial sector, however, the price of sugar would be deregulated and set at a commercial rate of 60 rupees per kilogram. This commercial pricing would immediately allow sugar mills to recover their production costs, eliminate their dependence on government bailouts, and generate an internal financial surplus to pay farmers their dues on time. To execute this dual pricing system and prevent the illegal diversion of cheap household sugar into the high-priced industrial market, the model outlines a robust administrative and logistical framework. First, household sugar would be distributed strictly through the Food Corporation of India and state civil supplies departments, with monthly district-wise quotas fixed based on local demographic data. Second, the sugar itself would be physically differentiated. Household and industrial sugar would be processed into different grain sizes or textures. Crucially, they would be packed in distinct, color-coded bags, such as white bags for domestic use and bright yellow bags for industrial use, embedded with QR codes for real-time digital tracking from the mill to the final buyer. Third, the Essential Commodities Act would be amended to impose severe criminal and financial penalties for the resale of domestic sugar in the commercial sector, supported by a specialized enforcement wing under the Sugar Commissioner. All industrial buyers would be registered on a centralized digital portal, and a reverse audit mechanism would cross-reference their raw sugar procurement against their final product output to detect any discrepancies. This structural reform would not only rescue the sugar mills but also unlock the funds needed to empower farmers and build a climate-resilient agricultural sector. A portion of the industrial surplus could fund a productivity-linked incentive of 1,000 rupees per ton, paid directly to farmers via direct benefit transfer. This incentive would be strategically split: 200 rupees for cultivating high-yield, disease-resistant cane varieties, 200 rupees for installing water-conserving drip irrigation systems, and 200 rupees for adopting precision agriculture, including artificial intelligence and satellite crop monitoring. By incentivizing sustainable farming, India could push its average sugarcane yields from 70 tons per hectare to over 100 tons per hectare, conserving billions of liters of water while dramatically reducing farmers' input costs. With a stable, climate-resilient cane supply, India's sugar mills could consistently meet domestic food needs while generating a massive, reliable surplus of cane juice and B-heavy molasses to feed the nation's ethanol blending program. This would allow for a critical upward revision of ethanol prices, currently set at 60.73 rupees per liter for B-heavy molasses and 65.61 rupees per liter for direct cane juice, making green biofuel production economically sustainable for mills. In doing so, the sugar sector would transition from a source of rural financial strain to a powerhouse of clean energy, saving billions in foreign exchange on crude oil imports and positioning India as a global leader in agricultural innovation and ecological sustainability.